Claire, resign, or you're no longer my daughter. The words cut sharper than any knife. I'm Claire Dawson, 28, lead engineer at Dawson Dynamics. That night, my family ambushed me at our Austin table. My sister smirked, already crowned CEO without lifting a finger. They thought I'd crumble. But 6 months later, they begged for my return. And all I said was, "Remember that dinner? I don't forget." Before we continue, tell me in the comments, what time is it where you are right now? Claire, resign, or you're no longer my daughter. The words echoed long after dinner. At work, the lights felt harsher. Keyboards clicked like tiny judgments. I kept my head down, coding. Dawson's Sink was my heartbeat. 18-hour days stitched into it. Ryan stayed late beside me, catching bugs at dawn. But the real wounds were at home. My mother's voice cut like a knife. "Let your sister shine, Claire." Her eyes refused to meet mine. Dad's emails shrank to logistics. Numbers, deadlines, no congratulations, while Monica filled the silence with buzzwords. "Vision, scale, global," she chirped. At a barbecue, smoke blurred faces. She pitched my app as a good foundation. Foundation, like I was concrete. Walked on, never credited. Carlos pulled me aside after a demo. "Your app's a game changer, Claire." His praise felt dangerous, almost secret. Back at the office, whispers spread. "She's just a coder," someone muttered. Being just a coder paid salaries, but it didn't buy respect. Mom started calling about optics. "Wear the navy suit tonight. Stand by Monica, look supportive." Supportive felt like a muzzle. At night, I paced our apartment. Austin's skyline blinked like indifferent stars. Ryan's words cut through the haze. "They're rewriting you. Protect what's yours." Still, I longed for recognition. A toast, a thank you, anything. But silence answered like a locked door. When Mom repeated it again, "Let your sister shine, Claire," I finally heard its subtext. Shrink so she can grow. Dim so she can sparkle. Erase yourself and call it love. Love shouldn't require disappearing. Family shouldn't feel conditional. But ours did, and worse. So I stopped begging. If they wouldn't see me, they would feel my absence. I started sketching quiet insurance. The night I chose silence, the comeback quietly began. I became a ghost in my own company. The boardrooms filled with Monica's laughter, not mine. Her heels echoed through the glass halls like victory drums. Meanwhile, I stayed hunched over my laptop. Screens glowed blue across sleepless nights. Coffee cups multiplied like an army of silence. Ryan and I worked in whispers. Our cramped apartment became a secret bunker. He typed beside me, his jaw set. "They won't see you coming," he said. "You'll have the shield they can't touch." We built it together, the lock. A fingerprint safeguard buried deep in Dawson Sink's core. Every 72 hours, my touch kept it alive. To outsiders, it looked like security. To me, it was insurance. Insurance against betrayal wearing my last name. At the office, Monica strutted through. She leaned on engineers for answers, tossing buzzwords. "Optimize this. Scale that." She couldn't open a terminal. Still, Dad clapped her on the back. "That's my girl," he boomed, while I slipped past unnoticed, carrying the actual product. I stopped expecting praise. Instead, I learned to measure silence. Every ignored email, every sidelong glance. Data points of betrayal. Mom's eyes hardened with calculation. She praised Monica's charm, my hours dismissed. Her words always returned to family image. Image didn't debug servers at dawn. Image didn't land $100 million contracts. But Image, apparently, could erase me. One humid afternoon, Dad texted, "Support Monica's vision. Investors believe in her." My hands shook holding the phone. Ryan read the message, then looked at me. "You can't let them rewrite history." I nodded slowly, heart pounding. History had fingerprints, and mine were everywhere. Lines of code, contracts, deals, my invisible signature. And now, a lock only I could open. The whispers outside grew sharper. "She's bitter. Monica has vision." Vision without foundation was just air. But air can still fill a room. I stayed quiet, building, strengthening, preparing. Every silence added weight to the storm. Carlos's praise kept me steady. "Your app is saving us millions," he reminded me. Those words were lifelines in the noise. Still, isolation cut deeper than exhaustion. I felt invisible at barbecues, birthdays, dinners. Photos framed Monica's smile, never my work. So I carved my own frame. Not with smiles, but with leverage. Not with family, but with fingerprints. One evening, Ryan caught my gaze. "You're not disappearing, Claire. You're sharpening." I swallowed, letting the truth settle. Yes, this wasn't defeat. This was preparation. And the night they unveiled their betrayal, my lock began to breathe. The lock woke on a Monday. 72 hours. No fingerprint. Dawson's sink began to choke. Error logs piled like dominoes. Warehouses stalled. Trucks waited. Dashboards glowed red. Carlos called first, voice sharp. Claire, throughput dropped 40%. Fix it or we pull the deal. I kept my tone steady. I'll check from my side. Inside, I already knew why. At Dawson, panic spread fast. Engineers sprinted, eyes hollow. Monica barked empty orders. Optimize, stabilize, escalate. She opened no terminal. Solved nothing. Her confidence thinned into paper. Dad hit my phone next. 3 missed calls, 1 text. Claire, we need you immediately. Need tasted different than love. It was sharp. It was late. By noon, Daniel Harper arrived. Your family requests your help, he said. Name your terms. $2,000 an hour, I answered. No titles, no apologies. Access stays limited. He nodded, desperate. I walked into Dawson like a ghost. Brenda's eyes lit with relief. Claire, thank God, she whispered. In the war room, screens buzzed. Carlos glared. Who's fixing this mess? I patched outputs, eased bottlenecks, kept the core algorithm locked. Monica stormed in, shouting, She's sabotaging us. Carlos cut her down. Enough. Show results, not drama. Uptime rose. Clients exhaled. Monica's glare burned. Dad's pride cracked. Mom looked at me like a stranger. That night, Susan called, pleading, Don't destroy the company. This is your father's dream. I stared at Austin's skyline. You told me to resign, I said. You chose Monica. Silence stretched. I didn't mean it, she whispered. But you did, I answered. The next day, headlines hit. New CEO fumbles flagship product. Contracts at risk. Dad cornered me after midnight. Come back full time. We'll fix the titles later. Titles didn't raise uptime. Respect did. Neither lived here anymore. Consulting only, I said. $2,000 an hour. He swallowed pride like gravel. Monica tried a softer mask. We're sisters, she said. Let's align on vision. Vision without foundation collapses. I kept my face calm. Ship uptime first, I said. Pressure built in 1 week. Contracts dangled. Clients watched. The board whispered. And then the invitation came. Monica's wedding, Saturday evening. Everyone important would be there. Ryan held the card. You going? He asked. I looked at the date. I looked at the burn. Yes, I said. But not to celebrate. They wanted a toast. I brought the truth. The wedding smelled like roses, money, and expectation. White tents glittered under the Austin dusk. A string quartet whispered in the corner, their notes drifting over clinking glasses and polished laughter. I stood at the edge in black, watching investors and board members toast Monica. Her gown shimmered under lights, her smile staged for cameras and applause. To them, she was the future of Dawson. To me, she was a thief wearing my crown. Ryan squeezed my hand. This is your moment, he whispered. I breathed slowly, steadying myself, then walked toward the microphone. Good evening, I said, voice calm but sharp. I have news about Dawson Sink. Conversations froze, heads turned. The quartet faltered into silence. The core algorithm requires my fingerprint every 72 hours. Without it, your warehouses crash. Without me, Dawson Dynamics collapses. Gasps cut through the crowd. Glasses stopped midair. Someone dropped silverware onto the floor, ringing like a bell. Monica's bouquet shook. You're sabotaging us, she screamed. Her voice cracked, desperate, not regal. I didn't blink. You took my work, my title. I protected what was mine. The system knows its maker. Carlos Vega stepped forward. This explains the outages, he said firmly. His gaze shifted to Monica. You sold us a lie. Thomas shoved through the crowd, face flushed. Claire, stop this. Take a leadership role again. Fix it and we'll make it right. Susan grabbed my wrist, tears spilling. Do it for family, she begged. Please, Claire, for your father's dream. I pulled free, spine straight. You told me to resign. You chose Monica. You don't get to beg now. The board circled, whispers sharp, risk exposure. Leverage sits with Claire. Every eye turned from Monica to me. She tried a softer tone. We're sisters. Let's align on vision. Her smile wavered under the lights. Vision without foundation collapses, I said. Respect authorship, or keep pretending and pay the cost. Carlos folded his arms. Honor her terms or the contract ends. Reporters raised phones, recording every word. Thomas sagged, voice hollow. $2,000 an hour. Your conditions stand. I handed back the microphone. No applause followed. Only awareness. The truth had finally taken the stage. Ryan met me by the path. You are a force, he said. I exhaled months of silence. Proof finally visible. Outside, headlines lit the night. Founder's lock revealed at wedding. Engineer reclaims control. I wasn't their pawn anymore. Not Dad's legacy. Not Mom's image. Not Monica's shadow. I was Claire Dawson. And the world finally knew it. Morning would bring fallout and offers. But freedom had already arrived. Morning came without panic. Just a clean, steady pulse. I chose not to go back. Not for titles. Not for apologies. Not for a seat they'd cheapened. Janet's team welcomed me openly. A lab with sunlight and whiteboards. Engineers who argued in good faith. People who valued proof over pedigree. We built Nexus Flow from scratch. Fewer meetings, cleaner code, faster shipments. Carlos called. Then others followed. Results traveled faster than rumors. Revenue climbed like a sunrise. My name carried its own gravity. No borrowed crowns, no staged smiles. Just work that stood upright. Dad wrote 3 letters. The third said, "I'm sorry." I read it twice, then filed it. Forgiveness isn't amnesia. It's boundaries with oxygen. Mom called at dusk. Her voice was quiet, unarmed. "I was wrong," she said softly. "I wanted image more than truth." "Truth pays better," I answered gently. "Even when it hurts." Monica texted a paragraph of glass. I didn't reply. If growth needs silence, I will be quiet and grow. Ryan and I married by the lake. No chandeliers. No speeches over strategy. Just friends, vows, and Texas wind. He said, "You stayed yourself." I said, "Finally." Some nights, I pass the old building. The glass still mirrors the sky. It no longer mirrors me. I'm not a reflection anymore. I'm a source. Here's what the fire taught me. Protect your authorship early. Document, design, defend with clarity. Family love without respect is a leash. Cut it, or it will cut you. Here's what love taught me. Choose those who clap for the work. Who argue details, not identities. Who hold the door, not the leash. If you're standing where I stood, erased, minimized, rewritten, remember this simple proof. You are not their version of you. Build the one that stands. I didn't win by breaking them. I won by outgrowing the room. By choosing oxygen over permission. By naming my price and keeping it. I'm Claire Dawson. Not a pawn. Not a shadow. A builder with my own light. And I won't dim again. Have you ever faced something like this? Tell me in the comments. If you've been through this, you're not alone.